Okay, 3 minutes to the bottom of the hour. I don't know if there's any news coming out, but there's a lot of algorithms that are thinking about this 8:30 situation. I'm sure 8:30 in Asia is a big deal. So this 12-hour cycle in the market, just a linear cycle. You know, it's the morning or it's Asia. Asia's quiet and then it gets violent. So before the last video, I said I was going to get in below the floor here, regardless of what happened. And somebody was making a comment about when you trade this technique, the question always comes up, what do you do over here? If I start buying this new low with a 20 pip stop, I'm just going to keep getting knocked out of this thing, right? So the question is, how many times you keep getting in this trade and getting stopped out, knowing that someday you're going to make your 60 pip target. You're running a 20 pip stop. This is your trading system, which is psychologically difficult because if you just keep getting kicked out, how many times are you going to enter this trade and start getting pissed off? So they stop you out, you get in again, and then you're going to ask yourself, why didn't I just put in a 40 pip stop? Right? This is the idea of move your stop. Never move your stop. No, have a wide stop, have a tight stop, have a 30 pip stop, a 40 pip stop, and accept that you're going to probably lose your 10 pip stop, because if you're going to get in front of the vacuum, in front of the market, I'm going to front run it, you need to have this order bank last maybe only in a super fast market. This is the 4-hour chart, by the way, but even at that, this would be a 4-hour expiration. It would never get filled if you dropped it when the market's here. So it's when do you drop it? How long does it last? If I drop it and it lasts all week, or if it yeah. So here's a week. You can write a script that lasts all week because you're a real disciplined trader then. But if you knew this low existed and you dropped for a week, it would expire before here because it literally counts out a week, 5 days or something. Or here, I don't even, maybe it fills, maybe it doesn't, but you're more inclined to, if you're going to trade that technique of buying new lows, here's your supply zone trade. This wick, this spike down, we know that this is a real old price. And if we ever fill that, there's going to be such a large interest in that price that it'll be a high probability reversal point. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't always fill. This is the big problem. Or you would say it overfills. So what the guy's talking about is, well, I did what you're talking about. So I put a buy limit here. Buy limit here. I'm going to be the first guy to buy into this perceived vacuum, which, to me, it's stacking up. This is the elephant in the room, okay, is like, well, what about, remember those prices down there? Remember when we used to have like free speech or something like that? You remember those days? So when you get the crush into that, jeez. See, there you go. Thank God my video's not on the internet. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. They're shutting down my internet while I'm trying to make money. Do you notice how that's happening now? Look at that, now it reverses. What did I tell you? That's my whole internet went down. Great, reboot it, right? See, there you go. See? It's rigged. Look at that reversal. See, that's why you have to trade on limits. So the risk is being run in a time window of, say, 4 hours if you choose to keep. Now, if those tickets expire, are you going to refresh another bank of tickets? Are you going to come in with more inventory? So it's like a business. If you do supply and demand trading, it's nothing but, hey, you know what? If they go down, I'll buy more. Like right now, if they tank this, great. because I'm barely in with my real money. And in this demo, I'm literally in under the floor. I'm barely in. So I'm trading much harder on the demo. Of course, this is what you would do if you had a prototype. You take the prototype and you beat the shit out of it. Now, the thing you drive to work, the car you drive to work, it runs. You're not killing it, but you're not blowing it up. So that you always want the bleeding edge. You want the demo to be it. You know, you want that to be the hard edge. And then people say, well, you blew up the demo. I'm like, yeah, but, you know, don't forget, when you take the demo from 10 grand to 80 grand, and you know, there's no way to unload that position. This is a trader's way. It's got they let you put 1 million tickets in there, I think of it, 10,000 tickets. And I thought, well, you know, not the best servers there for sure. There's like dial-ups, and then you hit the exit button, and it's just going to try to unload. It'll probably take a half hour to unload, but you're out. But it's too much fun, you know, too much fun to just have the thing just ratchet up, no trailing stops. It just be like, it's so much work to maintain any account of any position. So what are you going to do, right? You can sit there and, you know, you can see that you can make money. And those are decisions that I made in the direction of the market. Now, maybe like here, when you're buying into this big giant 40 pip, almost 40 pip crush through the floor of what people consider to be support, and now it's just, I think a whole day I think we could just be, we're done. Like stocks are done. So the dollar maybe come back to life. But in the meantime, if they keep driving this thing down for a day trader standpoint, if they go down 20 pips, I'm buying. And how to control the risk. If I put an order down here that lasts 2 hours, do you think that will get filled? Here's the probabilities. Right here. This is the probability. I'm asking that market to drop here in 2 hours. That's doable. I'm risking $6 every drop to make $6. See how that works now? You just sit there all day and put orders. It's just stupid. It's stupid. Trading's for dumb people. And if I told somebody, listen, drop, I didn't even tell them what the expiration. I said, you know what? Every 3 hours, keep putting these in front of the market. Now, this is where you have a person that could see the new lows. You know, hey, every time it makes a new low, see that zig? Below the zig, you start putting limits in like this. Now, I don't know if you get a robot to do that, but here is we're in that mode right now the guy was talking about. What if you, well, you could have sold here too. Don't forget, you could have sold here at the so-called pivot. You could have sold really bigly there, held that for 2 hours in below the floor. Or what I did was I decided, well, I'm going to go to sleep. So I'm going to buy everything below this support, right? Clean machine. That was the scalp. You know, that was the first dip into the window. Then it comes to here. We could have bought, I did. So we bought this whole thing, scalped out. And then, so I got out of that because of this. Right, on the 15, the supply windows, the wedge, I talked about it in other videos. I mean, so in the Mastering Contrarian Trading course, page 58.5, it's in decimals. No, I haven't done that, but this is the reason I got out, was the pop into this. So this is a big curve supply zone. When they hit that ricochet back, right? And this is the top, become a bottom. Supposedly now we could get a trend kind of going, walk up, make it to the floor. And this is where people paint the scenarios. They perceive this, bounces off, come back here. We'll get in here at the 618, and then we'll ride it to here. I got time for that. So I'm going to put the buy limits in here, and I'm going to hold this underwater position. I'm losing tickets. I'm down like 30 pips on these. So I put in these, and that's because I chose to risk more on this. This is going to be the swing trade built in around the scalp. So I'm going to scalp to this floor and hold for the swing. That would be the best way to play take advantage of the 20 pip window and the 60 pip and the 40 pip windows, because of what's going to happen here typically. And because tomorrow's Wednesday, and so we could keep crushing down all day today. And depending on the size you're in, okay, I just got filled in my pound, so I'm buying the same crush on the pound right now. So we go to the pound. So I'm trading both currencies on this account, which is another really complicated thing to do. Plus, I'm going to do a video about it. But I'm doing it with my real money. So the pound, you're going to have to trade wider stops, wider take profits. That's all. I mean, the structures are 2 to 3 times, sometimes 4 times bigger. Of course, you know, when the pound's dead in the water, the euro's on fire, maybe. But not for the same amount of pips, typically. So the typical thing, you know, people want typical. They want a 14 period moving average. They want the 14 RSI. It's so cute. You want a 14 RSI, do you? Oh, it's just adorable. So I'm going to buy this plunge in the pound. I think we're going to go down the tubes here another 30 pips. So that's a set it, forget it. For the next 8 hours, I'm going to buy a 60 pip window on this pound because I think it's just going to keep tanking. It's going to be unbelievable. People are just, their heads are they're going to come unwrapped. They don't believe it. Let me go to that chart. We just fell through this floor. And I think the pound has had it. I mean, the dollar is going to be. So here's an example of what I consider to be almost impossible to get filled in 3 hours, but I'm going to go for it. So 3 hours. This is where you're going to front run the market. So you're going to come in front of this vacuum, stand in front of this thing. Yeah, the safest trade is going to be in the most, maybe you're not going to even get filled. That's how safe it's going to be. Is to put orders down below this wick, right? Whatever you may think about a candle pattern, this is always going to be optimal trade entry. It's really deep, 20 pips stop to make 40 pips, say off of here. Can we make it there today? Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? So that's the whole gauge point. How far can catching a falling knife into this hole? This is a huge supply zone, so I'll put most of my tickets down here. And inside here, I'm going to put in these. I'm just trying to make 18 pips. Once we hit this, my target is going to be where we're at now. And so where I'm getting in is critical. And if I stack these up, every time I drop it, I know I'm risking $5 to make $5. This is like casino trading almost. Okay, I am in on this trade though. Okay, I'm in both the euro, and it's what time it is. And when the stock's open, we could be back at this floor easily on the pound right now. And I'm underwater, like seriously here. I got in really too early on that pound. That's demo money. So on demo money, I'm not too, like, I bought this vacuum. So this, everything I'm saying, I guess, you know, it's about time. So if these tickets expire this much, they get filled. If you drop a buy limit on this point here, and that thing it lasts for this long, okay, you might have nicked a few of those tickets. But the ultimate supply zone is always going to be under this floor. Right, so the 1 hour chart, now the scalpers are getting out. Boom, they're getting out right now. Before stocks open. I have to wait until here. I could get out of this whole thing take a loss on these and walk away, or I can let it drift, and this would be my swing trade for the ride back into the structure low on time, which is way back here, and those would be winning tickets. This is like a Wednesday kind of price action, you know, and just crush out the lows from 2 days ago. Boom, bye-bye. But that's what the pound does. Here, that's not even the pound tick chart. So look at the pound. Look at this vicious. Now, there's sellers here. So I could scalp out right now on that. And so if this was, you know, clients' money and stuff like that, I'd be like, I got my finger on the exit button right now. I'd be like, okay, listen, right now I'm going to scalp out just the pound. At the top of the hour, I'm out. If we're coming back into this support, this low, and I would take a loss on these early entries and just go, you know what, let's come in with limits all over again and rinse and repeat. So imagine you don't want to be in this big. I'm in about 100 and, what's that? About 150K right now. So if I got my finger on the trigger here, I'm waiting for the 15-minute traders. So I'll see what they're doing. Well, they're like, dude, you know, 15-minute chart, is it going to really tank? You think this can't come to here? So I'll let it go. Sorry, clients. I'm watching for the rogue waves here. That's another thing. Why wouldn't the ICTs of the world just open an account and just charge people 10% a fee to trade a fucking chunk of money? I still don't get that either. Like, you're going to teach a course, but you're not going to cut us a little, wow, okay. I don't know. I don't want to get involved in trying to please people, unfortunately. I mean, well, you know, I don't want to be rude. I want to be frank. So, yeah, we're just going to sit in this position here. We're going to wait. Now, the size, if we can just maintain right here, we have enough money for another plunge. And this is just a 15-minute chart, so we're going to wait this out. Looks like we're going to get a little bit better pricing now. Now, at this point, if you happen to be in front of your computer, you're going to make more money, of course, too. And you're going to never, this Brexit sell-off you're talking about, well, not to mention the election. I traded the election on a demo 4 years ago, and let me tell you something. You know, unless you had a 300 pip stop, you couldn't make your 80 pips. You could not make even 20 pips with a 60 pip stop. The spread was so brutal, and it was just, I mean, it's like, look at this tick chart. It's like that. So British pound is very vicious. Look, we'll probably make new lows here. Well, I'm going to blow this lows out here. That's what they do. Yeah, British pound, man. This, look at this. 20 pips from this. Boom. So I just want to be a lazy trader. I'm going to put my buy limits down there and go, you know what? I'm giving you 3 hours to get down here, which is totally doable. But if I say, I'm going to give you 3 hours to get down here, now my risk goes down every time I drop this rack of tickets deeper and deeper, because I'm just picking a 3-hour slice out of the market. I'm on the 1 hour chart here. Do you really think? Well, you know what? This is how you make money on this move. If you're going to buy below this and you start putting in these 1, 2, 3, 4 hour orders in front of that, because maybe you don't want to put them in for all week long, but this is just supply and demand trading simply. I mean, the only thing I have on here that tells you that is the closing prices. Okay, so now we're holding. So we're going to hold this. We're not going to buy at the market. We should. We should buy at the market right now. But I'm looking for rogue waves. Actually, every time I see this, if I don't have the market order in front of me, which I don't, it's down here. Now I have to frantically come in here and buy like this. 20 pip stop to make 32. And this broker's not letting me in. So, or I got too many tickets, so I can't add to my position, which is probably the truth. Because what I just dropped here, that's the thing about the demo. This Hugo lets you just abuse it. I mean, I've got so many tickets up here that I laid in for 8 hours. Do you really think we're coming up here? But this is just an exercise. It's like a stunt wife, you know, like a hooker. So, okay, now we're going to try to make it back to this floor, and we'll cash out everything on this and bank it, and then come back in with sell limits above here once we free up some tickets. And the next supply zone we're going to attack is here. It's like think about Twitter. Think about, well, okay, this is going to be Parlor up here. We're going to go after them. They got buy stops here. What are Goobers doing? Well, the Goober puts the buy stop here because he wants to make sure this is a real move, not a fake move, where I suppose the market maker professional has a sell limit on this rooftop here on the 1 hour, and he's just like, you know what? That's almost like the ICT order block, right? If I go to the 15, isn't that the ICT order block? Okay, right, it's the ICT order block, but see, in my mind, these are all order blocks up here, right? I don't even know if I should be saying this. I think he banned the phrase order block. But, you know, that's it, right? And the 15-minute traders, okay, they couldn't retest it. If I'm going to buy at the market on the 15, let me do it right now. Right, if they'll let me in for some more tickets. I don't know. Let me delete something now. I have to do some housekeeping, see, just to get into this trade. Okay, I can put some size on. I got to get rid of these. So here's the problem, right? So for real money, you wouldn't have all these cells up here. Examples wouldn't. So I'm getting in with 18 pip stop now. I'm just frantically buying that. Because it looks like they're trapping these bears are getting trapped. So let's get on the long train here. It's so much work, you know. Yeah, let me just do a mastering forex course. Okay, they're letting me in. I got about 10K in there. So I got to run more of these tickets though. So the closed ticket thing. You're going to need it for this program. I missed it, so I'm not going to chase it. I got in what I could there. That's how many pendings, you know, is a limit, you know. But then once we cash out, I'm going to start selling. This is the biggest supply zone for today. So on the half hour, on the 1 hour, yeah, it's not going anywhere. Like everybody's getting out here. Anybody that's anybody, I'm getting out here for sure. This is that 1 hour fractal. And actually on the way to that, I'm getting out. So that's the 15-minute story. We make it to the floor. If the sellers don't come in here on the 15, we'll hold that until stocks open. When stocks open, can we make it back to here? Okay, well, can we make it back to here? By stock market open, and then when stocks do open, we pop up to here, and then it just becomes like we can buy and sell in 20 pip windows, or we just call it a day. You know, get to here, get out, make $500, and just we'll put sell limits up here and wait for this. So go flat and then put in a sell grid. And if you don't want to get too aggressive, come back in gently. Then you make it so these only last 4 hours or 2 hours or 1 hour. 15-minute is as tight as you can go. You can have a half hour. You can press a button. I would double clicks because it's too hard to keep dragging and dropping. So if you just do a double click, you could put in, this is another way to, another style of trading is to just say, I'm just going to sell. My trade plan is I just sell for 4 hours every 10 pips in any market. Just call any day. I'm ready to go. And every time you press the button, you're laying in a rack up here. But it has a time limit, and this is your edge, right? So if you press the button here that puts in a 4-hour rack and you capture this, having the beautiful targets of 30 so pips on that, you made money from just blindly throwing orders in. Whereas here, this is supposed to be the professional way of looking at this supply zone and saying, oh yeah, well, here's the scalpers getting out right now before stocks open. And people trade this window real heavy and you can already see the sellers coming in a little bit. They're bouncing off, and then they made new highs. People are selling new highs. And the question is that in 35 minutes, can we be rocketing up another 20 pips? Oh yeah. So we'll let that cook and let that make some money there. But then again, as soon as that happens, there's going to be a buying opportunity for maybe putting in a stack of tickets. And this is low risk trading I'm talking about. We come in with 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. You can have buttons you press for that, hotkeys. You got about 70 hotkeys you can run if you're that kind of trader. So it's really what kind of trader are you? 15-minute scalper. I'm in the market for a half hour, 15 minutes. I can make $200, and that's my trade. Or I'm in the market for 4 hours, making $200. I'm on the 4-hour wick. I just traded a 30 pip wick on the pound on the 4-hour. I just got in when the market plunged. It retraced back. It made a hammer or a doji, got out. Trade's over. So this thing about, what about this trade and that trade? And that would be like, sure, if you're going to lay orders out there that last a week and a month and you're just waiting for the market to come to you and it just keeps coming to you and beyond and crushes through all your prices, then yeah, that's a problem. So here I'm risking by the hour. It's more of like those binary options where you just got so much time to make it work. And so the British pound really was and the euro going through the same phase at the same time here, where they're crushing into these new lows. It just seems like the obvious reversal point. New highs, new lows. Especially the real old ones. And the ones that are just the low of the previous day. So it doesn't mean it has to engulf that day. But a lot of times, well, at least for the initial phase of that, it may not engulf, but the scalp to this point was the exit. So we missed, if you didn't get out here, you missed out on, that was the maximum pips you could extract from that move. Plunge down here. You filled on limits, you make it back to here. Now we could really start tanking, but that's okay because I got more buy limits down there because I'm only in like 33% of what I would trade up to 100%. Maybe 100% is my limit. 100% of a dollar amount. So maybe my limit for the day is $200. Well, if you're going to take me out of the market $1 at a time with a 10 pip stop on a 1K, then it's a different kind of death by 1,000 cuts. And what is the cost of that? And is it worth it. And what can the market do now? You back way up and look at these markets, and you go to the 4-hour charts, and you can see it's unbelievable how far this market can move. It's just unbelievable, and for no apparent reason. I mean, seriously. And look at the wicks on this. This is a 50 pip wick. If you just would have bought the tail of this, these are just the most ripe entries you could ever get. And the older prices are going to be more fiercely, this is like Dominion right here. There's something wrong. What? I went to sleep. It's so funny because somebody tried to short Biden, we got fucked, Oh, yeah, that is just astounding. So, all these tickets you're running like this. Wow. And I think I bought some of the market here. I bought at the market. So I bought because I'm like, you know what? We are under the floor here. And are we going to, oh, the sellers are supposed to come in there. 15-minute guys should be selling here. And can they defend the bears? Are they really going to come in here again and sell? So the 5-minute chart guys are going to have their way with it now. They sold there. They're the trend traders. We can see what they're thinking. They're going to ride this channel, so to speak. I would say that would be their dream. Like, yeah, can't you see? It's going down this channel here. Duh. Be stupid. But the 5-minute bulls just bought that pullback. They say you can't hold the floor. Here was the other raid zone here. So here was a scalper's window. It makes a new low. Of course, it's making a new low on the hourly or 4-hour. And there's a nice back into so-called downtrend. Everything's so temporary in these markets. And here we're back to the floor, ready to scalp out of this puppy. We could get out. We could scalp out of this right now. So we're definitely in the seller's window. So let's just do that for fun. Another thing I wouldn't do is get out of this trade with real money, but I'm just going to show you how to reduce your risk. Now it opens us up for. So some things you would do with real money, some things it's like some things you do with people some people you'd hire. 1 hour. 1 hour risk here. This just goes on and on. This is risking $12 to make $12. These are 6K in a 10 pip window. If the market can plunge back down there, I still believe that we're going to make it back to this, and even these losing tickets will become winners. I firmly believe that. So you have to have some kind of hope, but that is the critical zone. But if we replunge, it's all the better because I just took off a bunch of risk, and now I'm going to get in real aggressively for 1 hour. And then here's where I put in the 6-hour tickets is way down here at the round number. Just in case we do make it down there, we can make it down here in 6 hours. We could easily make a new low for the day. And this is where I really come in heavy. Is the new low of the day. So the size that you're in, look at this. Look at the sellers coming here on the 5-minute. Look at that. See? Those channel traders nailed it. But it's okay because I'm a buyer below here. Or adding to my buy. See how fast you got to be? Look at that 5-minute chart. You could have taken profits into that structure floor. And look at now. Now it's like, oh, they're going to crush this pound today. I'm telling you, we're going down 60 pips. So you got to gangway. You got to leave a big 6-hour tickets here, 18 and make 23 pips. I think I ran out of tickets. I can't launch any more tickets down there. This is going to be crazy. This is kind of way more bullish because this got hammered first. So this fell in the hole first. And this doesn't move as big, you know. You could trade heavier on this. Where look at the pound. Yeah, look at that thing. Crazy. So you can hardly see that hold. You can't really see that trade even on the half hour. It just looks like another beatdown, another torture. The 15, it looks like it's running out of gas a little bit. Pretty steep. But I do want to buy more lower, so we may never make it back to this floor. So you have to accept that too. So these are the kind of problems, you know, with the trading is, do you cut your losses short? You see, oh, you know what? Since I should have got out here, I should get in all these losers right now. Well, by the time you go to pull the trigger, maybe it's already smashed down, fill these limits, and now you're in bigger trade and you're up more because now you bought deeper into the market, which is going to be, the cause and effect is it's going to be a better reaction off of those prices because when it plunges in, you're going to get more unfair prices. They'll come back to the fair prices that you're at right now. So this would be considered fair, or this will be considered the new floor. We go through this one, go down, you know, how many pips into this vacuum and these voids. And I think it's just about pips per hour, because if we're dropping 10 pips an hour, 24 hours, that's 240 pips. So that's unsustainable rate of change, and putting all the limits in front, and I got my finger on the trigger maybe to buy at the market here. If I don't think I got enough size going, which I think it's plenty good, because I would rather sit in this size on this currency and have the ability to buy more deeper with wider, a little bit wider stops, having a variance, because this is what protects you from the, so the linear trades, you just get sheared off, right? Got one ticket, wait for one price to happen, and they just shear your legs off. You know, you're just like, well, I can't even. Because right now, this euro and this pound can keep dropping, and it's just a bonus. Because I scalped this portion, now I'm reloading, and now I'm going to say 6 hours, right? 6 hours. Why bother coming back to this stupid trade? More risk, because my exposure to getting filled is out longer. So it's an auction kind of thing. You know, you're setting up your own entry criteria here. In the swing trade, you'd have to expand the targets probably on these tickets that you're underwater on right now. And maybe you're going to wait till Friday to get out of that trade. I don't know. I think if I'm up X dollars, I would, like I said, I would take these off at, and a lot of people will. That's why this would typically become where the new sellers come in, is most people are going to get out here on everything. And then in my mind, it frees me up to start putting in sell limits above that last for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And that way, we're coming into fresh prices with also a time limit. You got to get there before then. You got to get there before then, right? Hurry up. It's that movie, you know, where you got to stay above a certain speed limit. You got to get up here by then. It's a it's like a okay, now here comes the pound. They kind of freaking people out there. Are we going to tank? Are we stalled out here? In the 15-minute traders, the people that buy when you're locked, you close below the floor on the 15. That's my favorite entry for the market because you're really locking in unfair value. And you're down. So it fits my criteria: buy low, sell high. You're down. Now the stop is up to, stop to taste. I'd say 20 pips on the pound. If you're risking $2 there, and you got another order below that's risking $2, you're risking $4. You got a limit that's maybe 10 pips below, 15. Then you got targets that are like, you're just going to pay the spread. You're going to pay for the cost of the swing trade. Then other tickets are the style of trading you're doing. That's the thing. How long do you want to be in the market? So I like the kind of the shorter the time window, the better. But realistically, if you can withstand being in the market up to 4 hours, anywhere from, I'd say, an hour to 4 hours to 8 hours. Ideally, if you rode the hole in golf, it may take 20 hours, right? So buying here on the pound, for us to go up 40 pips from here, just to go up 20 to get back to this supply zone here, or demand zone, depending how you're going to do it. It may take till 11 o'clock today. And we fell in this hole here, so I think most of the money we could make would be new lows. Psychotic spikes downs when the Dow Jones opens, the Dow Jones starts to really tank into Wednesday. So that stalled out here on the daily. Dow Jones is having a problem with this. And we took another dive bomb. And we just start to melt down. We've got our first. We can start speculating that we're going to go down a channel, a drift. The momentum's turning. We're going to go down this. It's really getting sad for the. But this cliche, even gold's not liking too much there. Gold, another thing, I really do think that gold could be done. I mean, come on, man. You know the thing. I mean, so here's I think the hedge funds nailed it, or the people that short. If you went short gold up here, right now you're still loving it. That was also when palladium was going through the roof. Look at that. Wow, that's just amazing price action, as they say. That damn price action is blowing up my account. So I don't know. But hell, gold easily come back to this doji, this monster doji on the monthly. I put you all the way back to 1500. Everything's just all. So the air is pretty thin here for the NASDAQ. We have a real battle here. This is the hope of the future. Big support down here, though. I'm sure there's a lot of people be buying here at the big. All the way to there. I suppose if you're going to do the scalp technique. Oh, here we go. New lows. We're going to get those new prices. Tron traders nailed that one. Breakout, pull back, and I'd say this could drop at least 30 pips now. You'd be amazed. This is when the pound really shines. This thing could just obliterate. I'm probably getting stopped out of something. So I'm going to buy here with a 37 pip stop for 6 hours. Alrighty then. So, who couldn't see this coming? So we got another 30 pips to go here, I think, down the tubes. So as they stop me out, I'm going to put in more tickets in front of it. Putting a big stop in that. Wow, just before stocks open. Amazing. Go figure. Wow. What a beautiful crush. Okay, so we picked up 50K there. Let me get rid of this nonsense because even that is, see the rate of change here. Now it's down 20 pips in 15 minutes. We're coming into this serious supply zone. So here I'm going to put the bad ratios in. Going to risk 37 pip stop on that. They'll never stop me out. Not never, but not so 6 hours. I'm saying, come on down here in 6 hours. Okay, so that's the big mind blower, right? People aren't ready for that, and it's a pound, so we can easily drop another 10 pips, crush into this, get loaded up, scalp out. So it's already written in the script. The scalp. Let's see if I got a tighter exit there. Here's a 20 to make 20. 2 hour order here. Yeah, so the dollar's on fire. I noticed the dollar gapped down and then gapped up. Look at this thing, how it fell out of bed here and then. So the dollar's on a tear. They're printing money, but it doesn't matter. So I think people are unloading into the dollar. They're getting out of stocks. No. But I'm just buying this pound as it crashes down the... So the 15-minute traders that trade breakout pullback theory, if it breaks this, they sell there. They just made 20 pips clean. Meanwhile, I've got just a ton of buy limits here, and then I got 2 tons down below this. And I just pulled the trigger on the 15-minute. So when I bought that last, so I bought at the market. I think I got about 10K in there. I might have got stopped out of that. So then I'm going to, I don't know if that was the euro or the pound, but so the euro, same thing. I got all these limits stacked up. I want this to go down and just keep filling up this vacuum. And I'm betting that they're going to take it lower and then it's going to reverse. It's going to retrace. It's a retracement trade. And this is the feeding zone here. This old low. Here we go. So we in about 2 standard lots right now. Down 140 bucks. We're waiting for the stocks to open. I think stocks could really fall through the floor on open based on the way this looks. We're just teetering, but this looks like it's, you see how this looks like it's ready to cave in on the 4-hour NASDAQ. And the Dow's stalled out, right? And they kind of trapped, I guess you could say, the bulls that trade the breakout here. Kind of poised for a huge sell-off there. Stocks. Cash market's going to open here in 10 minutes. Big panic. Big raid setting in. Big stop hunt for the all the bulls are getting stop hunted here. This hunt goes pretty deep, and I'm ready to buy heavy below this. Real heavy. So I'm in a third of my normal position. I mean, I was using $1,200 a margin, and I made $1,000 on just this bounce here. So I bought below this, and when it came to here, got out. So a little bit up here. Now it looks like they're just going to rip this down 40 pips. Just blow everybody's mind. Just waiting for that critical moment. 10 minutes away from oblivion. Going after these wicks now. So this is another prime example. That problem is always coming up in all sorts of time frames. You know, how much is too much? What if it just keeps tanking? Well, you're probably going to lose a few tickets, but you know, if you're going to get in 20 pips apart, and I could do that trade, but I'm not doing that here. It's going to look like this, which looks pretty almost it looks kind of like too tame maybe for you. 40 pip stops, and I'm going to buy in a 20 pip window, a 3K, I'm risking $12. So if I kept doing this trade, you know, if you looked at this trade on this chart, you'd say, oh, I can see that trade working out. Yeah, you scaled in to a 10K in this rally. That's completely different than saying that you scaled into each one of these as a standard lot. Because when this thing comes down here with a 40 pip stop, you know, so you'd be risking even a 10K on each rail, you're list $120, right? 120 bucks. So here's 12 bucks. That's still 12 bucks. I don't know about you. If you kept giving me 12 bucks every hour, I wouldn't complain. Big scary crash there before the stocks open. So this is another, I wouldn't say manipulation, but people are like shuffling position. People are getting in and out of the market. And can you really drop this down here in the next 4 hours? What is the chance of that? So stocks open, we get a rally in stocks. Let's say we get it doesn't really matter. I don't think stocks are connected to this, but I noticed that the markets move before the stocks open. Markets move up and down before stocks open, and whether they're moving, so if they're moving into my buy window, then I guess that's the only thing is volatility. It's the trading window, and it's kind of frantic, and there is this like, wow, look at this, and then maybe news is coming up. There is no news coming out, actually. I don't think any big news. But if there was, you see this crush, retrace, and then boom. So here I'm trying to make 20 pips, I guess you could say. 20 pips on this trade. And by Wednesday, we could be all the way back to this price, you know. You know the thing. Come on, man, you know the thing. So that would be the obvious scalp. Like I said, we could keep tanking. And I think we will. Maybe not now. Maybe stocks open up and stocks do start to tank. So I'm accommodating both scenarios. But this is about the right size here. So we could take a hit here of about $200 to $300 and make it up if it goes down lower. But we're going to let this one play out. We're not going to do any market order trading. I could buy at the market here, but since I got my fills that I wanted, I did a couple market orders there. And so that didn't work, right? I mean, I guess the 50 pip stop, maybe the one I bought on a 50 pip stop. I'm still in that one. So you could pull the trigger every hour it drops. Like you could be a disciplined trader every hour down. Every 4 hours down, you buy with a 50 pip stop, regardless of market. That could be your trade plan. You got a 200 pip target. You look for things that are just crashing like a horror. You put in a 100 pip stop. You look at this thing. Hey, look at this pound. I'll buy here with a 100 pip stop. Every hour it drops. Every 4 hours it drops. Hey, stress retrace. You're up in the trade. That's about the crudest trading plan I can think of. Would you risk $10 a trade? I mean, people buy lottery tickets that cost $10. Look at them drive this hard into the opening of the Dow Jones. It's just phenomenal. This is a typical phenomenon in the morning. Just keep pounding. The dollar just keep going up and up against the euro and the pound. And I took my trades off of the yen. I had some sells up here, and I drew this ridiculous channel. But I still think this is great selling territory up here. Okay, so we're almost back to that $4,000 profit. We're sitting on that with just about 2 standard lots. Stock's open in 5 minutes. Place your bets, people. This will be the scalp. Then we can go watch another movie. I know trading lifestyle is not exactly glamorous, I don't think. I'm going to go tune my Ferrari, I think. That's what I'm going to do. I got like the 12-cylinder a dual overhead cam, whatever they call it. So just throw up words there, talk like gear talk, car gear. So I still got a lot of exposure here for the next 8 hours. That's my favorite script length is 8 hours because 3 drops a day, if you were going to keep on refreshing and keeping a constant risk going. So this is all about the Dow Jones, the cash. Can they take the pound down another 20 pips into a bigger limit bank I have in there? It looks like they're going to, actually. All right, so that's possible. We could definitely smash down here and then rip up. Let's see how much punishment we can take on this. So down about $100 from our high water mark. Yeah, they're coming in some more buy limits. It's even better than I thought. Look how they just nicked the wick there. We just went like a half a pip lower. This is where people lose their minds on this stuff. Look at that, just a little bit lower. Oh, damn, I had a stop down there. You fuckers. Stop me out. Pretty decent spread there. 1 pip. So now we're trapped below this floor. I think we picked up about a 10K there. I just noticed the margin went up. We have such a dense order pack down here. That's why I should just let the limits play out. But it looked hopeful like we were going to make it above the floor there, so I jumped on the buy train right here on the market. Huh. Okay, still got the 3 minutes left here. 2.5 minutes. Can they blow this puppy out and just shear it down? Wow. Yeah, so that's a real deep pullback there. Hey, I'm sure the trend traders are buying it. Hell, it's in an uptrend right on the daily. No nonsense should be getting in right here, about right here. That's a pullback. That's probably some 618 shit going on there. Would you look at that? Just look at it. Wow. Took out the lows from 2 days ago in a 20 pip window. Now we're just getting ready to rip north here, maybe. Pull back and let her rip. Here comes stocks. Is this the see this doji here? This is your trend traders entry. Things quiet down. Get in here with a tight stop. You're risking 30 pips. Alrighty then. Let's say the 5-minute traders. Are they bearish? Are they going to sell off of this top become a bottom theory? They got sell limits here. I'd be scared out of my mind if sell limits there. Well, of any size. Alrighty then, we tumbled down this. It's really taken off here. We're at the 618. Buyers should be coming in. We got to reject this floor. If the sellers come in at this floor, then we're going to go lower. So we're trying to get that Goldilocks trade going here for the size of the fill. I'd say that's it. We still got so much exposure here for if it goes lower, we're going to pick up more limits. So got this obstacle number one. And I'm still in the euro dollar too, in the background of this whole thing, which it's not as concerning because it doesn't move as much. Do the same contention point here, stuck underneath this support, an unfair value land, looking to go lower to buy more, but also certainly wanting to take profits on that if we make it back above into this zone, which would be the sell of the next sell zone is pretty far away. But if we do make it back to this, I would definitely start to stream, like I said, the 1 hour and 2 hour. And this is all depending whether I'm going to bother on a demo. But for the moment, I'm waiting for the retracement of the pound, I guess. One losing trade at a time, people. So we made that slightly lower low. Can we keep tanking? And I think we could spike down, actually. When Dow Jones open, we could go down and just freak people out. But I'll be buying more. One man's freak out's another man's buying opportunity, I must say. If I could get into $800 of margin right here, and then we go ripping up, and people just be like, what the fuck was that? I know stocks are going to dictate some of this, isn't it? Oof. Well, stocks are bullish. Look, they keep going up here. Ain't no stopping it now. So that's bad for the dollar. The dollar's in a trap. Here's the dollar argument. Sellers right there at the tippy top of the supply window. So this whole thing here is serious supply. Okay, we're going down the tubes here. We are going down the tubes on the pound. We just made a new low. Just picked up another 10K, 5K. All right, this is going to be a bloodbath for the pound. It looks like we're going to have to go for the load the wagon a little bit more for the next 5 minutes here. And I know 5-minute traders are just always waiting for 5 minutes to go by. And the Dow Jones, 5 minutes after the bottom of the hour, this is critical, and it's going to be tomorrow's Wednesday. And that's going to be the rest of the week should be pretty crazy. If the pound drops 30 pips, I'll try to make 20. The easy 20 off the bottom here. So set and forget it. We're making new lows right now. We're breaking down on the pound. How far can we go? Since I probably got stopped out, I'm going to put some more limits down here. $30 pip stops. So these are going to like get in dense at the bottom. Okay, so I ran out of honey. Take a second drop there. All right, we reached our limit. Okay, we're getting that 30 pip sell off now. Here's my scalp. 18 pips stop to make 13 pips. High probability trade. 8 hours. So this is total set and forget it. Picked up another 50K. Another 40K we're in. So now we're down about 200. Now here I would buy at the market. I'd have my finger on the trigger. I would run the 35 pip stop to make 20. I just load the wagon here. Especially if we close here in the next 5 seconds. We're going to lock that in, 5-minute traders. Okay. So, oh shit, I can't put any more tickets in. Sorry. Anyways, you see my point. If we buy when we're in new lows like this, so we're building a position into new lows. We have buy limits in this, the most serious supply zone right here and beyond. We had dry powder all the way down the tubes there. Now we sit back and wait for it to come back to here. And if you want to wait till maybe the end of the day, we could make it to here. So you're going to make 40 pips on this. Okay, I'll get rid of all these objects. We could still tank. So I got enough down there. I can still buy more. Just gotta get the Goldilocks sizing going. If you want to trade a certain size and then just plan for, well, they're probably going to go down here and maybe even beyond, and they could actually just keep tanking. So that could happen too. Because look at this wick down here. What if we go down here today? Can we make it down there today? Or even to here, this would be pretty amazing. Gotta get rid of this stuff. I keep going for stuff I never use. Just taking up space. Yeah, sucks. So all right. We're holding on. This is the 4-hour supply wick there. Let's see if we survive this. Okay, we're waiting. So stocks have been open for all of 7 minutes. How are they doing? They're going up. Bitcoin's ready to go up. Dollar's going up. So I don't know if there's any correlation there. Seller's window here, though, on stocks. Oh, look at the pound. There you go. Finally getting a dose of. We picked up another. Bank here. Look at this. Look at the 5-minute. Coming in my buy limits here. So now I'm going to put in the really good ratios. If they let me. So very focused ticket here. 3 pip window. We'll risk 12 pips to make 34 pips. 3K. There's 6. So they're not, that's about it. So that's another thing. I'm letting the broker kind of determine how much I can trade, how big I can trade. They're limiting my orders to my order entry. I still think they're going to take it down to this and blow everybody's mind. People's heads are going to explode. It's like GameStop. Stop hunt for the bulls, for the trend traders here. Alrighty, we're getting it. We're getting the fill there. So we don't have to do nothing there. Beautiful. Set it and forget it trading. Down, taking a $300 hit there. Down 300, looking to make $2,000. No, if we can make 800 bucks, we're good. How about that meltdown, huh? Look at that. So 350K there. Look at the reaction there. So there's a tick chart. Wow. I think I freed up some margin there. Let's get in here with a 12 pip stop. Down here with a 20. 20 pips stop down. Another, I think we're going down another 20 pips here. It's just going to blow people's minds. So dollar is on fire. All the markets are on fire. Trying to get to that $1,000. So to make $1,000, we got to get into about $1,000 of margin here. That's the plan, Stan. All right. So whatever's going on in there in the stock market, man, they're just raiding the pound. Here we go again. So luckily, this is a prime example of what this guy was talking about. What about this scenario? Okay, we're down 350 bucks. We're buying into this plunge we planned on buying into. The rate of change is unreal. Look at this half-hour chart. Into the vacuum. Just took out the low on the 4-hour back here. Now trying to make 30 pips. Coming back off of this. So that's the plan this morning. Set it and forget it. Trading. Oh, almost $800 of margin. So try to get that Goldilocks sizing. Oh, just picked up some more. Going right down the tubes here. So we're taking a $300 drawdown. Actually more. That's just the law. That's just the loss here. Okay. Putting more buy limits in front of it. I think a big part of it is having enough money available to just keep buying into it also. So it's not like a big problem. I would say $1,000 of margin usage here would be ideal. Let's try to make 40 pips from here. And these are going to be 12 bucks for each drop. So this is a prime example. Here's your pound meltdown. We've all seen it. Look at the feeding frenzy down here. Incredible. Look at that. Wow. We're getting stopped out of some stuff there. Oof. 30 pips straight down. Man, I just can't imagine selling into that. That's quick money. Look at that. Oh. Look at the spike. Oh my lord. Oh, yeah. Come on. $600. So I got plenty of money in this account. All right. Wow. Look at that. So that's what really blows people's minds, I think. Okay, so we're down 600. That's right. So we're using almost $1,000 of margin. Ideally, we'll be at about 1,200 when this thing finally goes down some more. The 30 pips sell off. The euro's not able to make new lows though, so the euro is right to the borderline. Not as dramatic as the pound, I must say. The pound's down 30 pips. The euro's only down 20. But we bought this plunge here just the same. This one's a lot more tame. You know, you could do these kind of trades like this. Where the pound, it's going to cost you on the pound. It's just so expensive. Look at that. Now, this is the scalper's exit if they ever get it, because I think it could still go down more here, but that's going to be their first target. And their second target's going to be here. Now we have to hold this thing until for about 2 hours, I think, for us to make any money on this trade. Trying to make 40 pips now from here. And I suppose if we want to get fancy, we could buy on the fives when it pulls, if it ever pulls back. If it ever goes up and then pulls back, we could start buying on the fives at the market maybe. But see, that's going to be too much to manage. I like this. Put our buy limits here. We get filled. And yes, if you got in aggressively here, unless you put a 50 pip stop on this ticket, you're out of that trade. That's your ultimate target. So maybe by I'm just trying to make this 20 pips, honestly. Make that first 20, the other 40, we drift up there. All right, so we're kind of still waiting. I don't know if there's more news coming up, but there's definitely more selling coming in. The euro's recovering, but not the pound hasn't recovered yet. So the dollar, new highs here, and I'm sure that the dollar yen is making new highs. You could be selling into this right now if you really wanted to go into that kind of trade. So I'm just betting on this being the buy window all the way to the floor. Might be buying this all the way to the floor, actually. So get to that $1,000 margin usage. I think I got enough. So yeah, as long as I want to get in really big here, so I'll let them stop me out. Just incredible, isn't it? I mean, the pound, people just don't get it. They're like, what? Why? Don't ask why. You know, it's just not even, you can't even, it's incredible. There's no limit. Get out in front of it like this, 8 hours. I did one ticket. Okay, so I'm almost at my $1,000 margin usage. I'm down 800 though, so we're going to have to retrace out of this hole. I'm buying also the euro as it plunges. Right, these are all contrarian trades we're doing here, so you're going to have to go underwater. Okay, we hit the $1,000 margin usage. We got filled here. I'd buy at the market at the end of 5 minutes. In 1 minute, I'd buy at the market very heavily here. We did that. We bought with a 50 pip stop on some of this stuff. This is only a 20 pip window, don't forget. As psychotic as this, as bad as this looks, okay, this is what it looks like. So we gotta let this scalp itself out. I built in 20 to 40 pip targets. We're now down $500. We're down here. It says 100, but we got taken out of about $300 of balance. But it's just a day trade. We're just trying to make the 20 to 40 pips. You could hold this for the engulf, you know, if you think that's going to happen. But wow, it's quite a punishing deep discount here. Big stop hunt. So the rate of change here is so unsustainable. So it's funny because I was saying earlier, do you think we can make it down here in 6 hours? And those are the tickets I was laying down here. Did I put them on the euro? Or they expire? No, these are the ones I was talking about. Like, are we going to come down this far? Okay, so it's not over. We still got to start to retrace now into the close of Europe. And for whatever's going on here, I don't know what's going on. The dollar's screaming up. The Dow Jones, the stock market is kind of in a trap. I wouldn't be buying there. 4 hour, kind of a trap. The sellers are coming here on the stocks. So yeah, maybe the pound's going to tank more. It is really going to get destroyed. I mean, it's just, there's buyers here, I'm sure, but we got to be sitting here waiting now for us to scalp to the low of the previous day. It's a day trade. Yeah, just very long time. It's only an hour and a half trading here almost. I'm trying to scalp this 30 pip window. We could withstand another, we could get to about $1,500 of margin here. That'd be fine with me. Let's put some tight stops on this. Okay. Wow. How violent, you know? Just look how violent this market is. It's just incredible. Look at this. Half hour down 20 pips in a half hour. Just sheer down into the abyss, the void. Yeah, it is amazing. I don't know if there's any other way to trade it other than limits, because to buy in the market, you have to wait every half hour to pull the trigger here. So you would have bought here under this floor and be waiting till the top of the hour to buy more. I gotta put some more orders in here. It looks like we might go down to that round number. That looks very probable. So here we getting stopped out of something here, down 800. I'm gonna make this round number. Pretty incredible, huh? Okay, we just got a new low on the euro, so we're getting filled here. It's a bloodbath, I'm telling you. 20 pips here are easy, right? Got to get really deep in here. Wow, this stuff is just mind-blowing. Lower again. Look at this. Yeah, gonna make that round number? Okay. We're ready for you. We got our orders in. Go for the 40 pip targets now. I think they're stopping me out of enough. I can start putting more here right to the round. So now we got to think about maybe a 60 pip target down here at the market right now. So let's get in crazy at the market if there's enough margin available. I mean, enough tickets. Okay, 50 pip stop. Let's just go all in. I don't think we're going to make that wick. If we do, it's okay because I won't get stopped out of this. This 50 pip stop. Okay, I maxed it out. So I don't know if we can make this wick, but I'm certainly ready to buy down there. Okay, this is quite the bloodbath. 30 pips and then some, looks like. Huge supply zone down here getting crushed. Go back to reality. 15-minute chart. Are you ready to sell? Are you going to sell on the 15? Are you selling on the 5? Did you sell right here on this rally? So the 5-minute trend bot sold here and he's making money. Looking for lower lows. Lower lows. Okay, coming into 10 o'clock. Now what? Wow. So that's 50 pips in 1 hour straight down. Straight down. In the giant abyss. A 20 pip kill zone. Actually 30 pips. I say we buy all the way to the round. All the way to the big number. And that's our trade for today. Heavy scalpers. I don't know if we'll ever see this price, but wow. This is where you really got to load up. So that's why you need a lot of dry powder, and we don't know if we'll ever see that price, and we can't bank on that being the ultimate optimal trade entry because we just don't know. So this account, pretty heavy here. We just got to wait it out. If we want to accept exiting its structure regardless of our balance, we got to just get out of everything right here. That would be the big, the people that can withstand being in the market for a while, this will be their exit. If they're buying this psycho window, and certainly anything beyond, they're going to be getting out here. So if we keep going down, your exit's going to be here now. And that's also the other daunting task about it all. 5-minute view. Daily view is like, wow, yeah, meltdown. Get that thing down. Oof. So we're right down almost 100 pips there in about 12 hours. Okay, now top of the hour is coming, and we now, because we're buying reversal retracements in a 20 to 30 pip window, apparently 30 pips now. We just have to wait it out for the retracement now. Nothing you can do. So we just have to sit back and let it happen. Nothing we can do about this. That's simple as that. We're just betting against the short-term traders. And I'm just really range trading it, honestly. Just range trading it. It just happens to be that we're crushing into structure like enormously hard. In the euro and the pound, so we have a little bit of diversification here. The pound's down twice as much almost as the euro right now. Euro's coming back off the floor. So we have this 10 o'clock window now. And when I was talking about buying underneath the floor, you'd be buying right now at the market at the top of the hour because you're trapped under the floor. You're locking that trade in. Wow, look at this. Wow. Look at this 1 hour chart. Crazy. That's insane. Now that could end up being a wick. So we're going to cash out the wick and maybe ride the rest of this train until for another hour and a half. Now it's an hour and a half, about 2 hours. So it gets to noon or 12:30. Europe closes. We retrace back into. We go up like 20, 30 pips, and when we get out, that's the trade. Then when Asia opens, at the end of the day, we can put buy limits in again, do the same trade. This is a vicious sell-off. We suspected this is going to be a huge crush window, huge supply demand zone, whatever. A heavy reaction down here, unfair value. We're going to trade it back into the breakout point because the trend traders will be supposedly coming in there to try to sell into this breakout window. But it's just going to be a 20 to 40 pip profit window. Day trade, and then I guess if you really thought it was going to go up 50 pips from here, I always like to dump the whole thing, go flat, come back with limits, and just rinse and repeat the whole strategy. Because I want to bank the that trade. It's 10 o'clock now. We just updated the 1 hour chart, and it's funny because if you would have bought an what is that? Well, actually no, because I just closed out 5 seconds before the. So there's a 5-second gap there between. Look at that 1 minute chart. Look at how it just went. Look at it's 1/10 of a pip lower on the 1 minute chart. Bring me the guy that bought this. He has a limit down here. He has a limit in his hand. He keeps on holding it. He finally drops it here and he gets in. Of course, that's the bid. You can't buy that price, but okay, here's a doji. So here's the floor. We're coming back to that one single floor now. Scalpers exit on the 1 hour. They'll be happy with that. That scalp will be a nice trade, and then get us back to where we were before, and we're still in a giant position. So if we could scalp to here on some tickets and hold through the possible run, and this is quite a immense well, look at this sell-off. I mean, come on. Scalpers are going to get out here, and if we ride it until here, I think we'll do real good. We'll be up on all these tickets. We did lose a few in that bloodbath we knew was about to happen. And you could have sold into that, but you'd have to say, where are you getting out, right? I'm going to try to make this 30 pips on this breakout. You better decide when that trade's over, because if we rip back to here, we know a lot of people are going to cash out here. All right, so we just have to let that go. And here's the sellers that are going to come in right now. On the 5 minute, they're going to sell. They should. I mean, if they think it's going to tank. So somebody just got out. But we just made a new high there. We finally hit that wick on the 5. It's such a psychotic move that on the 4 hour, you can't even imagine selling that. Like, the people that look at this big trend would never. Of course, they might be thinking this is the new trend going down. But in the daily, who's going to think of selling unless you're like the last guy to. The time to sell was, I think, at the top. And this is our target. I'm sure the bears would start selling when you get another. Of course, you need a window. This has to come off the floor. That psychotic price, Lordy be. So we're coming into the contention point is this breakout. Right, that was the big. So let's see if the sellers come in here. Breakout, pull back to breakout, sellers come in theory. All right. So we're going to sit tight here and wait for the retracement. 2 hours maybe. Oh, look at sellers already came in. Wow, vicious. See how brutal that is? They're even waiting for that. They're like, I'm out. That was nasty. Okay, 1 minute chart. So now, if you didn't think you were in big enough, you could put some buy limits right in here now. I'm not going to do that. Almost $1,200 of margin right now. Up 24 bucks. We still got to get this thing above this floor. So the sellers, the scalpers are getting out of this already. This, look at this. Tick chart looks pissed off here on the pound. Doesn't it look pissed off? Like, how dare you? How dare you bid us down? And fundamentally, the dollar's supposed to go to hell. They're supposed to hand out money and print money, and they're just going to have a printing press, and they're going to break their arm. I heard Dominion's going to take over the printing presses. You get $2 for every dollar you print. They're self-breeding. It's got our DNA into the bills. Forget that thread with the ghosting image, all that shit. Forget that. Self-breeding money. It reports back to the mothership, to the Borg. All right, we're waiting for the retrace. We're up 130 bucks. We're only down 300 from when we started. We were down 700 there. It was a little white knuckle. Got a tinge of the white knuckle there. And that supply zone was kind of scary. So we're waiting for the retrace here. That's right. 2 hours, we're out. This is wick and hold instead of buy and hold. Alrighty. I gotta go listen to this. I gotta go watch this this TV show now. So I'm gonna cut you loose and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna let it go. And I will sell up here again. I think the sellers are up here. And we can do this. It sells up there. We'll do the same thing here. They'll raid the zone. They'll come back out of the zone. We cash out. Bing, bada bing. Okay, we're almost back to not being down on the trade. We're heavily loaded. We got in seriously deep on this. And the other answer is that if you have that problem, have 5 trading accounts. One trading account traded Brexit, you blew that account up. You have 5 cars. Okay, you got drunk in that one, you blew it up. This way, it just doesn't feel, it's not as painful an event, you know. I got 4 more cars. That was my favorite car. I was doing so well in that car. I'd made so much money in that car. But I know the feeling. It's not good. Nobody wants to be underwater on the trade. Nobody wants to be wrong. So we could start selling right here. Look at this. The rally, the sellers should be coming in here. Well, the bear's going to defend that floor. So they were not able to hold it below here. And this is when you could have bought at the market, locked it in. There's the 1 minute pound. So we could still put buy limits here again, but I'm not going to. Let's make it back to here. And when we make it back to here, I'll get out. I'll be looking for rogue waves, though, the whole time. I'll look for rogue waves. All right. Keep your eye. I'm going to get some glass of wine, and I'm going to look for rogue waves.